Gangs and cliques.
What are the three standards that we're covering right now in our Outsiders unit?
Gang, cliques, and routines.
Gangs, cliques, and stereotypes. Shepherd is not the only one that I should hear, so let me hear it from the whole class, with the exception of a few that are outside. What are the three standards that we're covering?
Stereotypes, cliques, and gangs.
Gangs, cliques, and stereotypes. With reading the Outsiders, what have we identified this far?
There are gangs and cliques.
They're like.
I can't hear you speak up.
They're like gangs and cliques.
We know that they're gangs and cliques. However, think back to our prior lesson where we identified cliques and gangs. Who are we classifying as the clique in the Outsider novel? Raise your hand. Major.
The greasers.
For which category? Greasers will fall under cliques or gangs. Now, mind you, these are the greasers. This is the picture of a greaser group. Would they be classified as gangs or clique?
Gang.
A gang. Why? Shep, help him out.
Cause look at do he have a chain on right there?
He does.
Yeah.
Think back though to the Outsiders. What were some of the characteristics they stereotyped the greasers as? Wesley, help him out.
They steal, they break.
Oh, no.
They like break stuff. They take people's cars. They take people's stuff. And like say when the put the socks into the clicks. One is because they all stay as a group and they don't let nobody else.
Okay. What type of description did they classify them as their clothes though? What do you see? I'm getting ready to turn the lights off so you can get a better view. What do you see?
Chains.
Chains. What else?
How they hurt. They jackets.
What jacket specifically
Leather jacket.
was Ponyboy describing? Leather jackets. How are their hair? How is their hair?
I don't know.
Slick back. What about that? Those were specific details to stereotyping what type of people? Greasers. How do they describe the socks?
Like rich kids.
Rich. Lucky. What else? Clothing wise. What else?
Nice. Like nice clothing.
Nice clothes.
Nice hair.
Nice hair.
Cars.
Nice cars. Perfect. In my mind, when I think of Cherry, what do we think of? Perfect.
Yeah.
Has everything. However, that's our what?
Stereotype.
That's our stereotype because in reality, what did Cherry tell Ponyboy?
Socks are not like that.
Socks are not what?
Like some socks are not mean. Everything is rough. Other people.
Everything is rough all over. That's a good observation, Legs. Everything is rough all over. Everything's not always what it seems. When we're stereotyping, we're going off of what?
The look.
Our look, our image. Prime example. If I said Shepherd's a thug because he has dreads, I'm doing what?
Stereotyping.
I'm stereotyping him. I don't know Shepherd. This is my first time seeing him, and I'm saying,
Look at them.
you look like a thug. Why? Because I'm classifying him because he has dreads, he's a thug? Prime example. Your favorite, one of the favorite rappers, 21 Savage. What did I say? Oh, he a thug. He has a tattoo in the middle of his face. He has chains. He wears grills. He's a thug. Never talked to him. Never seen him in person. Never had constant communication with him to even understand him. That's my stereotype. What we're getting ready to do right now as a beginner, I'm going to bring in prompts and have you stereotype them. So hold on just a second. We're going to turn on this light. All right. Here we have in front of you 1, 2, 3, 4. On your compare and contrast Venn diagram, I want you to label one bubble for one characteristic you see up here and label the other bubble for another characteristic and write down the stereotypes for each category. For example, What can we stereotype this person as?
A nerd.
A nerd. So in one column you will put a nerd and list characteristics to classify him as a nerd. Looking at him, what gives you the stereotype of a nerd? Write that down. Who can identify another stereotype up here?
Gays.
How are we assuming it? It's one person.
It's chain, got a gun.
Tattoo.
That is what you would write on your other Venn diagram bubble. So we classified a nerd for one side, and we have a thug or a gang member on the other side. In those two bubbles, I need you to write how they are different. In the center, I need you to write how they are similar. I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes. Look at all the characteristics that they have. Look at their full outer image. Remember, when we're stereotyping, we're thinking about their outer appearance, not realizing what's inside. How many of you guys have something written down for one on each side? Starting with Mr. Tally, what's your stereotype? Can you speak up, sweetie?
He's wearing a tie, glasses, and very long pants.
He's wearing tie, glasses, and very long pants. So if we're just gonna go on the limb here and put him in a category, would he be classified to go in the cliques category or a gang?
Clicks.
All right, so our geek is gonna stand right here by the cliques. Moving along, what stereotype do we have for this person?
Gay.
What?
That's how he's dressed.
Wait, Bryce?
Bryce,
Athlete.
an athlete, an athlete.
Um,
So we classify him as a gang or a clique because in school we classify athletes as jocks, preppy, popular. So what side are we classifying them on? Cliques or gangs? What side would we classify him on?
Clicks.
Cliques. So he would step over to this side. Now we have Thomas, Rough Thomas, Do-Rag Thomas, Gun Thomas, Chain Thomas. What are we classifying Thomas as?
a hoodlum.
They look like they're the same.
I'm curious to know why you're classing everybody as a greaser. Understand, greasers was labeled and classified in the 1950s early. Right now, we're talking about current, 2019. So would he be classified as a clique member or a gang? Look at the descriptions from last week when we identified. Can he fit some of these traits?
Yes.
Gang. So Thomas is going to step on over to the gang side, to the dark side.
They look like they're the same game.
Right. So then we have Aiden, Thug Life. Tatting across his chest. Thug Life. With his gun in his pants, his do-rag on, his Jordans on, letting you know he got money, period. Sagging.
Totally don't have Jordan.
Are they? They have similar traits. No chain though, but he's tatted. White tees, white beater. What are we classifying him as? A gang member. So he will step over to the gang side. How are they similar? Write two things down in the middle of your Venn diagram. How are these two cliques and gang members similar? How are they similar? Because their prompts are to the T. How are they similar? When we stereotype, we tend to think about the outer appearance and not realize how at the end of the day, they're all humans. And you guys do this in an everyday setting, waking up, coming to FLA every day, we stereotype. If you guys were to stereotype me, I'm a geek, or I'm old because I'm a teacher. Those are just classic stereotypes that you give teachers. We call Devin Morris a geek. However, because of his appearance, he could have the highest GPA in here. We wouldn't know because we're judging off our appearance. Bryce is considered an athlete off his appearance. However, that's a talent that he's good at. That does not define him. When you stereotype, you're putting a classification on things. And that we learned in The Outsiders. What was another classification in The Outsiders? Where it was segregated. Socks and greasers. What was something that happened between chapters 1 and 3 that showed differences between socks and greasers? One thing that happened. Wes. What's one thing that happened in chapters 1 through 3 that we knew greasers were greasers and the socks were socks?
Oh, so one thing that happened was the greasers got jumped by the socks
You guys can sit down. You guys can sit down in your groups.
because the greasers wanted to give the socks wanted to give the greasers a haircut every time they saw it because of their long hair.
Good observation. The socks wanted to give the greasers a haircut every time they saw them because they didn't approve of their hair.
How long their hair was and how laid back it was. And,
Okay. Moving on. You guys have a chart that says greasers, socks. You guys are going to write characteristics on that paper pertaining to the greasers and the socks. Up here, you have a picture of the greasers. If you have your phone, take out your phone and Google greasers and socks. Whatever your paper says, Google it. One person has one, 2 people, so you're good. Let this group use yours. What's your paper say? Socks or greasers?
Socks.
Socks. So you guys will be looking up characteristics for socks. What's you guys' paper say?
Socks.
Socks. What should be really easy for you, Devin, because you're sort of dressed like a sock. Minus the glasses. So we're going to take a couple minutes and we're going to look up that. All right, so who does not